Okay. Once again, I'm so happy to be here in Mexico. And this is a very genuine expression because there's really nothing in the United States. And even worse in Canada. North America, this is a treasure of North America. Right. But I have to confess, the title of this teaching is for marketing purpose. I think it worked. But I have to say, in Buddhism, especially in the Tantric Buddhism, there are methods of using substances, specifically substances such as datura. So, the idea of this title is not just arbitrary, it has some base. The substance that are mentioned in the Buddhist Tantra, the purpose for using those substances not really a temporal healing. You understand? It's not really to do with the healing. If the healing happens, that's good. But the real purpose is not really for the healing of our body and mind, etc. But the real purpose of usage of substance, such as datura, and I think why not peyote, is to really, in a very common language, I would say, to create a shift. It's to create a shift. To the certain extent, there has been a lot of shift. I mean, everything is impermanent. For instance, I don't see you walking around with your Barbie doll now. So you have shifted from playing in the sand field and carrying a Barbie doll to this. So you now have different toys. You now have different distractions. So you have shifted. But what usually happens is we don't shift sort of enough. We shift a little bit. We shift from one dimension to another dimension, and this dimension also is not not the most what do you call it? It has its what do you call it? Downfall. So I just want to mention you this, even though we are not going to do any of these. I'm not going to talk about the tantric methods. And we are also not going to, we haven't prepared any substance. Well, you know, I, for one, I'm such a coward, and very much I bow down to the social expectations. I care about my own image very much, reputation, and yes, I also care for the image of Buddhism. May not that go, that it may not go well. You know, group of Mexicans, you know, eating peyote and behaving strange under this Tibetan Lama. But what we are going to do these 3 days, tonight and then a little bit tomorrow and after tomorrow, I'm hoping to give you some ideas of the Buddhist sort of strategy or a plan, method, or a path to really create a little bit of a shift from the existing habitual patterns that we have today. And even a little bit of a shift from how you see things, how you look at yourself, how you look at the world, how you value things. Even a little bit of a shift might release you from some of the unnecessary bondage, some of the unnecessary, grip and fixations, which many times we unnecessarily get caught up. So that's why that's something that I'm hoping. I don't know how successful it will be, but this is something that I'm hoping. And partly, I'm also doing this because things like meditation, mindfulness, ethics, these are becoming some sort of a fashionable. So for some strange reason, they are becoming very fashionable. In one way, it is good. Of course, ethics is important. Mindfulness is important. I cannot dispute that. I cannot, refute that. But as a Buddhist myself, I feel I have the responsibility to also point out the fundamental differences between the popular mindfulness ethics and so on and so forth. Popular concept of, sort of spiritual path. So this is also something that I wanted to stress. Okay, so to do that, you will have to also bear a little bit with me when I talk about, and especially, I have to sort of come up with some Buddhist jargon. I can't really do without, you understand, in order to create some sort of a framework. Okay, so if someone here is asking me, what is Buddhism? Don't worry, we will come back to Peyote and all of this. But I need to give you this as a framework first. If somebody asks me, what is Buddhism? Then to make it very comprehensive and compact, I have to talk 4 things. I have to talk about the Buddhist view, and then Buddhist practice, and the Buddhist attitude or action, Buddhist behavior, okay? And Buddhist aim, the result. You got it? Buddhist view, Buddhist practice, Buddhist attitude or the Buddhist behavior, and what is it that we are aiming for? The 4 things. Now, the Buddhist view, now that is the most important. I will come back to this again and again. If you lose the Buddhist view, practice, behavior, result, the aim means nothing. So, most important is the Buddhist view. So, what is Buddhist view? What is it? What is the fundamental Buddhist view? You can say, there's something called 4 seal. That all compounded things are impermanent, all emotions are pain, everything has no inherently existing nature. Well, actually, these 3 will do, but an extra seal created by Mahayana people. Nirvana is beyond conception. Okay? This is good. I've spit it out, all this jargon. Don't worry so much about it right now. So anyway, these 4 are what we call Buddhist view. Fundamental, the most important. We will come back to this sometimes. Now, what is Buddhist practice? This is important. This is important this time. What is the essence of the Buddhist practice? Essence of the Buddhist practice must go against duality. dualistic distinctions. That is the essence of the Buddhist practice. Now, the way, how you go against this duality, there is thousands and thousands and thousands of methods. Supposedly 84,000. One of them is Peyote, well, Datura. I'm serious. I'm not making these things up. I can, find page number for you if it is taught. Why? Because dualistic distinctions creates judgment. Dualistic distinctions creates hope and fear. Dualistic distinctions creates expectations. Dualistic distinctions creates overestimation, underestimation, exaggeration. All of these are created by dualistic distinctions. So, Buddhist practice has to go against it. This is why when we talk about things like mindfulness, if your mindfulness is going against dualistic distinctions, fantastic. You understand? But if your mindfulness practice is not going against the dualistic distinctions, instead, it's creating constipation. Like, oh, am I being mindful? You understand? Then it's not Buddhist practice. You understand? It's not Buddhist practice. It could bring you relaxation. It could create a good sleep. It could probably help your, relationship with your boyfriend, girlfriend. It could. But remember, that's not the aim for Buddhism. I will talk about the aim later. But a Buddhist practice has to go against the dualistic distinctions. Now, I didn't take peyote. I just took a little bit of peyote juice before I came here. It's not really doing anything yet. But I took some other things, even recently, about a week ago. What these things seems to do is suddenly this substance seems to, it really upsets these normal dualistic distinctions that we have. Suddenly, that door is so far. Suddenly, the cup is so heavy. You understand? Recently, I was with a mother who has a kid. And somebody gave this kid a small wooden car. And inside the wooden car is a duck, as a driver. And then this small boy is crying hard. So I asked mother, what's wrong? Boy wants to go in the car. The boy has, regarding specifically with this, boy is not yet stained by adult dualistic distinctions of size. You understand? Very, innocent, so to speak. And we in our education system, we then give them the dualistic distinctions. You understand? So, substance could help. But the problem with the substance is it expires in 6 hours. You understand? Then it expands. Then you are back to the normal dualistic distinctions, and then even more sad, even more angry, even more disappointed, so on and so forth. So, in theory, sitting on the cushion, sitting straight, hours and hours, but not really going against the dualistic distinctions. Yeah, I mean, you are doing very good job. At least you are not harming anyone, because you are sitting there. People are saved from you, at least. But little bit of peyote, or even a little bit of mescal, is it? Mescal. I'm not encouraging you to drink, so please don't quote. Mescal? Mescal, yeah, and tequila, whatever. It shifts you. And I don't know, I'm sure maybe it does, it does, what works for somebody, it doesn't work with others. For me, when these guys, when these mariachis, when they come, it shifts me. It's a fantastic way, and I can listen this whole night. It's like amazing, it really just takes you somewhere. Okay, anyway, Buddhist view, we talked a little bit. Buddhist practice, whether it's a meditation in action, mantras, mudras, whatever, it has to fundamentally go against dualistic distinctions. Okay? Now the Buddhist behavior. What is the Buddhist behavior? Moderation. This is all the teachings of the Buddha. Middle way, not extreme. Not, what do you call it? Stuff like extreme penance or overfeeding yourself. Not going like that. So it's fairly easy to understand. Moderation, very balanced attitude. That is fundamentally the Buddhist essence of the Buddhist behavior. Now the Buddhist result. Now this is an interesting. What is Buddhist result? Buddhist result, and you have to pay attention to this one, especially those who are Buddhist. Buddhist result is nothing. Okay, usually when we talk about a result, aim, usually when we talk about the aim, we are always talking about something to get, isn't it? Something to get. But not true in Buddhism. In Buddhism, a result is something to eliminate. There's nothing to get. Nothing whatsoever. But there are things to eliminate. It's a bit like washing dishes. When you wash a dish, what is it that you are doing? Eliminating the dirt. You are not getting a new cup. You understand? You are not getting a new cup or a clean cup, but you are eliminating. This is why even the word Buddha reflects this meaning. Buddha means awakened. Awakened. State of awakening, you understand? So it's an elimination of dark, deep sleep. Ignorance. You got it? So, Buddhist view, for seal, Buddhist practice, something that has to go against the dualistic distinctions. Buddhist action, balance, moderation, and the Buddhist result is elimination. Well, I don't know how to put this, which in Tibetan is a result of elimination, let's call it. Is it? Do you remember? Result of elimination. This is sort of the, what do you call it? This I want to just put it ahead of what we are going to talk. Okay. Now, whether you like it or not, you have a mind. And I'm serious with this remark because it's really painful to have mind. It's really painful. You can't sort of close, like if you don't want to see things, you close your eyes, right? If you don't want to hear things, you block your ears. You know what I mean? I suppose you can sleep or go into coma, but those things doesn't really, those things doesn't really do, it doesn't mean much. Especially, sometimes even in the sleep, you see things. And so anyway, there's just something called mind that just keeps on cognizing something, whether you like it or not. It's really painful. Just experience it now. See? Just keeps on knowing something. Keeps on hearing these things. Keeps on, feeling something. You just can't help it. See? You just can't switch off for like 2 minutes. So, you have that. Okay. This mind. Oh, by the way, it's not always bad though. It also, it helps us a lot. Like enjoy like Mariachi music. If you don't have that, if you don't have the mind, you don't have this. So, it's both a curse and a blessing sort of together, this mind. Actually, I need to define this a little bit. Buddhists would say something like this. Buddhists will say something like, actually, this constant cognition, this constant knowing is a blessing. It's not a curse. Then, so what went wrong? What went wrong is a thought comes. And this thought leads you to another thought. And that leads to another thought. And then you get entangled with these thoughts. And along the line, creating hope and fear and all these emotions like aggression, doubt, suspicion, hopelessness. Just so many different kinds of, the 5 emotions that we Buddhists usually talk about is just a generic, you understand, very, very generic categorization. There's just so many more. But all these emotions conflicting mind, no matter how many different types there are, safely they can be categorized into 2. Basically, hope and fear. And then you get entangled. You get entangled with these thoughts. You get entangled with the emotions. And as you get entangled with the emotions, you also, act according to that. According to that emotion. You behave, you manifest. In many, you eat, you drink, you talk, you walk, you run, you build, you destroy, you gather, you scatter, all kinds of activities out of these emotions. And when these activities, what these activities do is these activities reconfirm and re-energize these thoughts. And then you go deeper and deeper into all these continuous thoughts and emotions that you somehow get numbed, engrossed, occupied. And in fact, it then becomes almost like your culture. You don't know how to get out of that. And you probably, most of the time, we don't even have the wish to get out. We don't have the wish. We in fact want to get more occupied. We want to get more entangled. This is sort of, because it's like a very addictive, or I don't know, you're caught, you have been caught in this game of entanglement. Now, to be free from this entanglement is what we call the Buddhist path. So there is the whole system that are prescribed in many different ways. So we are going to experiment few from the most fundamental to few, sophisticated ones. Okay? So first, just for about a minute, no need to sit straight or no need to do any, gesture, but just know, be conscious, be aware of your body, speech, and mind. In other words, your state, your status, your position, your how you are. Don't think about the previous, like the past. Don't think about the future. Just whatever's the position you are in now. Okay. This, what you just did, is very, very important. In fact, it is the fundamental so-called dhyan. Dhyan. Actually, I don't know, maybe there are some experienced translators, I don't know what they will think. But probably the word mindfulness is actually not really a good term to translate the word dhyan. Dhyan, which is later pronounced as Chan in Chinese and Zen in Japan. And in Tibetan, there's many, many, many ways. Many. Basically, very important connotation of dhyan is non-distracted mind. Distraction is mother of all the emotions. And when I talk about distractions, I'm not talking about gross distractions such as browsing webs. I'm not talking about that kind of distractions. I'm talking about really, it's something that it's happening all the time. Like when you are thinking of something, you don't even know you are thinking that thing. You are totally engrossed thinking of whatever you are thinking. You are so, in fact, it's considered even good. You are supposed to, this is how, from the mundane point of view, you are supposed to just be totally engrossed. Distraction. Okay, so non-distracted mind is like the essential element of dhyan. Earlier, when you were doing a minute of contemplation, probably there is a little bit of a non-distracted state. But now we are going to do a little bit more. This time, let's add few rituals. The rituals are important because it enhances things. So this time, instead of just contemplating, this time let's do this with a ritual of sitting straight. And this time we are going to do a little bit longer. So sit straight. And all you have to do is to be aware of what is happening in your mind. Whatever is not in your mind is not a phenomena. What is happening in your mind is the only phenomena that you have. So all you have to do is to be aware of that. And we are not talking about the phenomena of the past. We are not talking about the phenomena of the future, but this moment. And it doesn't have to be special. It doesn't have to be wholesome, spiritual. It can be absolutely mundane and ordinary. So please do that for a few moments. Okay, please relax. Don't sit straight. Because we will be doing more and more sitting straight, so save it for this. Okay, several things. There is no reason you can't be not distracted. Lying on a hammock somewhere in Huatulco Beach with a tequila. You understand? No, there's no reason why you cannot. But chances of you not being distracted is probably, especially at this stage, beginning stage, chances of, for the beginners, chances of not getting distracted, sitting straight, no tequila, nothing, is higher. This is why methods such as sitting straight is introduced. It's got nothing to do with Buddhists detest sitting, lying down. You understand? It's really nothing to do with that. It's just, this kind of what do you call it? Methods are to help. But anyway, when you are sitting, most probably after a few moments, you are this cognizance, remember the mind that you have? We don't know whether it's fortunate or unfortunate that anyway you have this mind. This mind is longing for distractions. It's craving, it's going. Story. It wants to read story. It wants to go. You understand? It wants to sort of move. It wants to be, it wants to go. But right now, okay, right now, I didn't give you so much chance for the mind to go too long. I disrupted the technique, which is a technique in itself. But anyway, you may have noticed. We will do a longer one, and then you will experience. When you do that, your mind will go. Your mind will long for distractions. But at the same time, some sort of a disciplinary mind in your head is telling, look, I'm supposed to look at this moment. This chatterbox may be also telling you, watch now, look at now. So this juggling, war between mind going out, wanting to go here and there, and this small mind that's telling, no, we are supposed to sit here for now. The war between this is what we call meditation. For now, you understand? So again, let's do it again with a ritual of sitting straight. This time I'm going to add, not only you sit straight, don't respond to your physical needs, such as if you want to yawn, don't. If you want to scratch, don't. If you want to sort of sit again, don't. You don't. Instead, you watch this urge of doing something. I don't know, scratching your nose or, to do whatever. If something comes out of your nose, let it come. And if there's this urge of, cleaning it, don't, just watch the urge. And then suddenly if you feel, self-conscious, like maybe somebody sees this, just keep on watching. Okay, we'll do this. Okay? Okay. Please move. Don't sit straight. Because the next one we will do much longer. Yes, move, scratch, cough, yawn, whatever you want. Now is the time. If anyone of you are coming back tomorrow, can you bring some small thing to eat? It would be good if it is Habanero. What is it? Habanero. You understand? But something to eat. We will talk. Yeah, I think we will talk about taste. Okay. The technique that I have been using right now, and I will use more, I'm going to do more. The actual technique, probably you hear it in any of the mindfulness, so-called mindfulness, training or teachings. But remember what makes it different. View, practice, behavior, and the result. The usual mindfulness people, I don't think they even care about the view. I think for them the result is to get what? Good sleep, or a relaxation, or a peaceful mind. You understand? So, and because the technique, their practice itself, because it is aiming to be more relaxed. So it will be very surprising, the practice itself are designed for relaxation. Okay. Next, we will do longer, but this time we will do longer because when you sit, first few seconds, after a while, you drift. Then drift more. But then again, I must concentrate. The awareness, mindfulness comes. But then you drift more. As you drift and get distracted, you go through a numbness. Okay, so the reason why I'm going to do this longer one is I want to bring this numbness a little bit. Don't look for the numbness, it will happen anyway. So no need to look for. But I just want you to experiment, because with this setting, then I will find it easier to continue from tomorrow. So this time we will do a little bit longer. So please, cough, scratch, do whatever you want to do now. And we will aim it to maybe straight 1 hour. Maybe by day after tomorrow or something. You should do it, Okay, are you ready? Okay, no scratching, no coughing, none of this. Yeah, ready? Okay, let's start. Okay? But please, you can stop sitting straight, but continue, be conscious of your movement. Be conscious of your, whatever you are doing, keep on. No need to sit straight. Tonight, if you can try to catch awareness a few times, at least maybe 3 times. Let's say if you're going to have dinner now, when the spoon comes into your mouth, maybe once. You understand? And when you take off your shirt or a pants, when you go to sleep, as you take off, awareness. As you lie down, awareness. At least about 3 times. And tomorrow morning, if you're coming back, please, maybe not too much breakfast, just a little bit, because we will be doing a lot of, I will do some of this guided Shamatha and Vipassana. And then we will also talk about the view and the rest. And yes, before we stop tonight, how is this going to create the shift? This is where the Peyote comes in, isn't it? How? This is much, much more stronger than any Peyotes, any other whatever. Because, do you know what is happening? When you do this, you are creating, you are starving your habitual patterns. Your habit. Tomorrow we will talk about this. Remember, I was saying distraction is what we don't want. Distraction is the fundamental problem. We get distracted all the time. But so now we need to work with this distractions. So how do we do it? Let's not feed these distractions. And what is the food of distractions? Habitual patterns, habit. And how do you do that? By totally not engaging with whatever the thought comes. Anyway, trying. A thought comes, just be conscious. Second thought comes, be conscious. Right now, this is what's happening. A thought comes like this. So what do? Is you poke. You understand? You sort of do this. You go like this. And they are so happy. Because when you do that, it recharges them. It's like, battery getting full. So now, when the thought comes, you just, like a baby, you just watch. So this is like, come on, do something. Touch me. Just, scold me. Or, of course, ideally, hold me. But, if you can't do that, at least, beat me up. Even that will do. You understand? Thoughts, the habitual patterns, the thoughts loves your attention. It doesn't matter whether it's any kinds of attention. But this time, just watch. Still like waiting and nothing happens. But we will talk about this more. But don't underestimate the thoughts. They have such a good strategy. When this thought is asking your attention and you don't give, this will come. You understand? And this, most probably, this will catch you. Most probably. So you learn also to just watch. You understand? So, yes, basically, learning not to feed them, learning not to recharge them. Okay? What will happen? The organization of the thoughts gets weaker. The habitual patterns becomes weaker. And then hope and fear, exaggerations, underestimation, all this becomes weaker. And when that happens, a big shift happens to you. And shift meaning things that used to be such a big deal is not a big deal anymore. Things that, you understand, things that really excites you before, not so much. Things that makes you really angry, not so much. Things that makes you really agitated, not so much. Then totally all the time in the state of peyote. A good kind. So that's it for tonight. So we continue tomorrow. Please bring something to eat. A little bit, not big. Don't bring the whole breakfast here.